I grew up on medium format. Yay, twin lens reflex, Yashica 120 format G, Rolleiflex, Pentax 6.7, Mamiya. Of course, those are the days of film. I thought, since I'm half crazy, I can make a video that is both educational and funny. And then everybody's going to downvote it going, I hate this video. It's still informative. It will be informative. Just hold on. Hold on to your lacy pink panties for a second. Everybody keeps asking me this question. The really expensive Fujifilm GFX medium format camera. There we go, 51 megapixels, and the basically 46 megapixel Nikon D850, $3,300 base without grip, and $6,500 base without grip and lens. Obviously so. So if this video might fail, I don't think it will. I think I just got enough caffeine in my system to possibly pull it off. I might not pull it off. So I'm going to do two voices, because this is what the bone of contention is. Everybody talk about GFX versus the D850. So if they were talking to each other and you wanted to get an education about the difference between these two cameras, let's see. What would be the voice for the Fujifilm GFX? I am the big GFX Fuji. And I'm making puppets out of cameras in this video. And I am the Nikon D850. That sounds right. That sounds right for Nikon. Okay, GFX is talking to the Nikon D850. I says, mate, you have to blow your images up a lot more to make a big print. And D850 says, this is true. GFX says, I got a tilting viewfinder and superior touchscreen. Well, the D850 would be saying, yeah, I got a tilting viewfinder, and I don't have as equally good a touchscreen. GFX would say, mate, I'm made in Japan, built like a tank. You're made in Thailand. Of course, GFX costs over twice as much money. GFX would be saying, I'm going to end the voices there because that's just going to piss people off, right? I think it's going to piss people off. By the way, when my British buddy Lewis Von John was here, he taught me some interesting Brit words like bell end. He told me what a bell end was. No, he didn't call me a bell end. He might call me a bell end now, though. What else would it be? GFX saying, oh my god, mate. Speaking to the D850, your shutter is even noisier than mine. And this is true. The shutter on the Nikon D850 is even noisier than the GFX. And the D850 in retort would be going, I'm small and portable. You know? You big and fat. GFX would be like, I'm not fat, I'm just fluffy. No. Yeah, I gotta end it with the voices there. Nikon D850, you got 9 frames per second. And in the case of the GFX, we're talking about medium format. Most people don't realize what the hell medium format is. When they start talking about frames per second and autofocus speed, they don't realize that medium format was never designed for that crap. And the people that know medium format don't give a crap about that. That'd be like talking to Ansel Adams. And like some sort of autofocus camera existed back in the day of Ansel Adams. Of course, it freaking well didn't. But if it did exist, it's like, oh, Ansel, what are you using that old 4x4, which you have total perspective control. You got both tilt and shift, all sorts of stuff you can do with 4x5 and 8x10 bellows. Ansel Adams would flip you the middle finger because he doesn't care about speed. The sort of stuff that he does with his 4x5 camera, landscape work, nobody doing what he did gave a crap. Of course, autofocus didn't exist back then, but if it did, Ansel Adams still wouldn't give a crap, and this is still the case today with the GFX and any other medium format camera. All of them are slow. They are all slow. GFX is used for a slow, hardcore, professional product, commercial, corporate gigs. This is what a GFX is for. It's not, even though you can, kind of, sort of, use it for street photography, this is not a sports action street camera. You know, nobody complains about the fat dude Pavarotti and Elton John being fat and slow. And they are fat and slow. They get the job done. That's exactly what the GFX does. So when everybody talks about autofocus speed or frames per second being low on the GFX, you just got to look at it like you don't know what the hell a medium format camera is for. And it's okay. Most people don't. Most people in the digital age have never used or owned a medium format camera. You know, D850 from that presentation be saying, hey, I'm half the cost of you, Captain GFX. The GFX would say, well, pro cameras owned by professional photographers are written off on their taxes. at the end of the year as a business expense, since it's a tool for their job. The price doesn't really matter. If you're just taking casual snaps, then what the hell do you need a medium format camera for anyway? Which case the Nikon D850 be saying, well, we got a lot more lenses than you do, GFX. This has always been the case, even in the days of film, medium format, is that the average spectrum of lens, now that I had the 6.7 Pentax, which it had, I think at its peak, something like 21 lenses, which is a lot. It's actually astronomically high. I think that's actually lower than that. But I mean, average medium format guy has 3 lenses. He had a wide, he had a normal, and he had a portrait lens. The GFX currently has all of those covered and more. So the notion that the GFX only has 5 lenses, the answer to that from anybody that knows medium format is, who gives a damn? It has absolutely everything a medium format photographer needs and wants already. And then some. Also, too, I've adapted a lot of Nikon lenses to the GFX, some of which are far superior than others, but it still will easily. I love sticking the 10 point. This is the only camera I could actually stick the circular 220 degree 10.5mm Nikon fisheye on and get a true circular fisheye. Now that has limited use, but for adding, and when it comes to photography and corporate gigs and certain advertising, you use that the same way you would use like a really hot spice on a meal. It's not the main component, but you throw it in there and it gives the zest to what it is you're doing. People love that for weddings. The same thing with macro photography of the rings or macro photography of the lace on the cake. Most wedding photographers never hit that. When you actually drop those little points in, it gives a complete and total picture and the fulfillment to the gig that you've shot, and that's what a circular fisheye does. And the only lens I can get that circular view on is on the GFX with an adapter. But it has all the lenses it already needs in the GFX. Yes, the Nikon D850 can do sports, action, and wildlife. And in the case of the medium format, that's not even a bone of contention because it's not even made for that. You know, I don't give a crap about that sort of stuff. You know, the GFX is for making the big money paying bling bling images for corporate product photography, professional fashion, a few other high-end clientele sort of stuff, but it has nothing to do with speed. It has nothing to do with autofocus speed either. Some of the GFX lenses will have stepper motors in them, like the 63 2.8 and 45 2.8. Doesn't matter that they're slow. You know, they are not even designed in any way, shape, or form for action. By the way, this is our portrait lens. This is a 110mm f2, which is equivalent of an 86mm f1.5, basically an 85 f1.4 portrait lens. Right now I have the viewfinder off of it, which actually slips in right here. Has a secondary set of contacts up at the front, by the way. There's actually hot shoe contacts, which you're familiar with right here, but there's a string of ultra-fine contacts right at the front here that you can't see that feeds the information and power to the viewfinder of the GFX. This is my quasi-goofy video in comparing the GFX to the Nikon D850. This is something people have been asking about, and while this video was slightly goofy, maybe it was more than slightly goofy, I think I drove the point home succinctly enough to have made clarity of the distinction and differentiation between these two cameras and what the hell they're made for. You know? It's like complaining about, you know, a Lamborghini. It's like, ah, it's no good in the water, mate. You know, I drove it into the pond and it got wet. It's like, well, it ain't made for that. I love it when people bitch about things not doing stuff that they're not made for. It's like, oh, God, man, this camera's slow. The autofocus is slow. It's not made for speed. It's made for maximum superior image output. Know what the hell your tool is for. It's like, oh, my God, man, this hammer is horrible for swatting flies. Well, the hammer is made for driving nails, not swatting flies. Whew. There's a lot of money sitting on this table here. Got one XT2, GFX, and D850, including the lenses, really 6, 7, 8, 19, 11, 12, 13. I have $14,000 sitting here. Damn! I need a newer car. I need these cameras, however. I actually do need them. Not that I want. I know the difference between need and want. I do need a new used car, though. I'm looking at a good used car right here. I'm thinking about my broken down vehicle. Yeah, there we go. Click the link below if you like this video. If you don't, tell me to jump off a cliff. Whatever makes you happy. Happy holidays. I hate the holidays. Bye.